Night Live. Hope everybody this week is off to a good start. Just got out of my granddaughter's graduation. Congratulations, Cash. I love you. Proud of you. So if you're rewatching this, I would suggest you jump forward a couple, 3-5 minutes in. Maybe we should be up and running. Welcome in, guys. Do me a favor and hit that like button if you would. Would greatly appreciate that. So it's that time of the year where graduations are happening. And we were at my granddaughter's graduation earlier. And another one tomorrow, and then another one in a week. And it's really awesome. Really awesome to see these young people doing the damn thing, you know? What's up, Ezekiel? So, yeah, it's really good to see these young folks taking care of business. You know, it's a lot like recovery, right? Like, it's seeing it through. It's finishing the job. What's going on tonight, Ezekiel? How are you, brother? Yeah, I'm dressed a little more than usual this evening. Like I said, we just came from the graduation, and then we went to my daughter's house and spent a little bit of time with my granddaughter who graduated. So shout out to her. What's the question? Oh, is this a different type of troll here? Answer the question. What's up, Isaiah? Damn, it just started going crazy. What the hell is going on here? What's up, Pierre? Something good to watch on TV, and then I get a notification. Nice. Okay. So let me lay some real quick ground rules for the live. Trolls, I don't mind trolls. If you start making racial comments, your ass will get booted. If you start attacking others, your ass will get booted. Okay, so now that we've mentioned that, there's 19 people in here and nobody has hit the like button yet. You can double tap the screen, or you can tap at the top and the little thumbs up will pop up, and you can be the first one to like this live. How about that? Thank you, whoever that was. I appreciate you. OETF Studio says I was the first like. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well, OETF Studio. All right, looks like a few people have hit that button. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. This channel is about sobriety and recovery. I was an addict for about 15 years of my life, and I managed to make it back, and you can too, you know? Okay, so he says yes. That's a good one. That made a lot of sense. I'm not even going to attempt the name. All right, I appreciate your question, though. So, how's everybody doing this evening? Is there anyone who can provide financial assistance so that I can buy a flight? Yeah, I'm sorry, Muhammad, I cannot assist you with that, brother, but I hope you're doing well. Franco, what's up? He says, greetings from Argentina. Shout out to Argentina. Hope you're doing well, Franco. So, yeah, this channel, it's about recovery and addiction. and that sort of stuff. So on it later because I need to sleep so bad. 10-hour job today. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you tapping in. Um, yeah, you got to handle business, right? Can you help me cure my disease called, I don't know what that is, and I am not a doctor. So my apologies on that. Okay. Now somebody's coding apparently. No idea what all that stuff means. Is that like old school texting? Like, should I be trying to figure out what that stuff means? Uh, Appreciate you, Franco. Uh, yeah, no. Uh, Brother, smoke money, stay high. All I do is tobacco. What's up, ear? I'm gonna call you ear. I can't pronounce it. Sorry. Uh, Shout out to Russia. Hope you're doing well. Uh, Text out loud. They try to. Yeah, I know. I know. Demon Online Racing. What's up? How you doing this evening? So just came. No, I don't. Let's see. What's up, Fishly God? CRL says, where you from? I'm from Southern California. What's up, Reefer Wizard? You a truck driver? Let's get this set up. So, let's see. I don't know what the challenge is, King Cruz. Somebody else talked about that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm chilling tonight, man. I just came from my granddaughter's graduation. Shout out to my granddaughter, Cash. She did the damn thing. So, good stuff. Did you open that door? Here comes the dog. The dog wants to say hi. What's up, Rima and Oliver? What do you do, says CRL. I am a truck driver. Want to have a goon battle? I don't know how that works. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button while you're in here, if you would. High school graduation, Sean. Did I ever do time out of California? I absolutely did. I was at one point I was on probation in Riverside, San Bernardino, and Los Angeles counties all at the same time. And eventually I would go to California prison. I got a 2-year sentence. And I did that sentence and I never looked back. I was in North Kern. I was in McFarland. I was in a CCF in Delano for a couple of hours because a riot kicked off as soon as I walked in. And it wasn't me that did it. Everybody was grouped up, but yeah. Kern represents. Shout out to Kern County. I do believe in God, Donnie. Outside of Caleb. Oh no, I never have reefer. We did live in New Mexico for a while. We were in Belen and then Albuquerque, but luckily I was fortunate to never do time there. I think it's a lot different there than it is in Cali. You drive an A train or B train? A train is a semi, I think. Yeah, I've heard of them. No, I don't. I just did 53. I did flatbed. I did reefers, and now I'm a yard jockey, I guess you would say. My father was a trucker. How do you like it? It's any favorite memories on the road? I do enjoy it. When I was still doing like over the road, I took my wife and my son along for a run one time. We were out like in the Desert Hot Springs area, a little bit further east, heading towards Phoenix. And it was a really windy day, and my son was like 6. And we still joke to this day that we had to put rocks in his pockets so he wouldn't blow away. We had like 60, 70 mile an hour crosswinds on that trip. We stopped and got some ice cream just to chill for a little bit, you know? let's see here. Ezekiel, you're slacking, bro. You say you're the only one to time people out, but I'm over here doing it, bro. Nobody goes to jail in California. Maybe nowadays things have changed a lot. I agree, Jeff. But when, the last time I was incarcerated was early in 2006. From like 92 to 06, off and on, I was in and out the whole time. And, Kiran says, I am Pakistan. Shout out to Pakistan. I got a homie named Fahim from Pakistan. He was a good dude. I think he's back in Pakistan now. Hey, Mona, Cora, any of you guys in here? I think my moderator went to sleep. Yeah, I definitely have, Eric. When I was in Wyoming, actually, I had a real light load, and it was blizzard conditions, and like I was just skating down the road pretty much. And then another time I was in Fontana, California, with an empty reefer, high wind warning, and yeah, man, that one puckered my butthole. I ain't even gonna lie. Like that, those wheels were coming off the ground, Samson, no. I was never affiliated with anything. I was the woodpile, basically. I am from the States, Immortal. Appreciate you, Reed. Hope you're doing well, bro. It's all good. Appreciate you, Mona. The thing about the title, Broken Bobby's Transformation, I was broken, but I transformed my life into a life of sobriety. So that's what it is. I'm not broken anymore. Why should criminals stop doing crime in California when there's no punishment? People steal from the stores and sell outside the stores. Yeah, it's gotten pretty crazy, Jeff. But I think one thing, like they started doing the cashless bail and all that stuff. And honestly, I think it's a trap because you know what? So say I go in on a drug charge, right? I'm just thinking of from the time I was doing time. Say I go in on a drug charge and they turn around and release me. Well, I didn't get a chance to clean up. And a lot of times, catching a violation was my rehab time to get clean and basically start over. Before I, change my ways. But, so now if in the current atmosphere, if I were to go in and get kicked back out, like I'd probably get another charge. And by the time I got to court and they didn't give me bail, like I'd have 14 possession charges and I'd end up with 10 years. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if that's how it's going or not, but that's just my thought process on it, let's see. Excuse me. What about your butthole? Why the hell did I come back to you? I don't know what you're talking about. I was broken by methamphetamines, Andrew. That stuff, like I was hooked. It was bad, Appreciate you, Reefer Wizard. That's what broke me basically. Like my I became unambitious, like nothing mattered. Like I was a hope to die dope fiend, But I'm here to let you guys know that you can come back from it. It's not going to be easy, but you can definitely do it. Sheik says, "Hey brother, love from Dubai." Shout out to Dubai. Shout out to you, Sheik. I appreciate you. Get your life together. My life is together, Peter. They ever try to get you on some bogus charges? Actually, King Cruz, I'll tell you this one. When I caught my first sales case in Pico Rivera, there was close to 60 grams of meth in the car. By the time I made it to court, the charges read like 8.5 grams. So it's kind of the reverse effect, but it was some dirty sheriffs basically out of that Pico substation that they took their part, and like when the public defender read it, possession of a controlled substance, approximately 8.5 grams. Like I did a double take, like what? But of course, I'm not going to say anything. You know what I mean? Because major difference in sentence. So yeah. I smoked the cheap ones, the Montego Red 100s. Uh, they're like $7 a pack to get the Annabelle doll out of the Warrens. Okay. Eric says, what was the thing that broke you and made you finally want to change and walk away from the dope? That's a great question, Eric. I appreciate that. So, to be honest with you, the last from basically 2000 to 2004, I was in jail more than I was out of jail. And because what would happen is I would get a probation violation, right? In one county, but I was on probation in all three counties. So every time I'd get a probation violation, the other counties would pick me up after I did the time in that county. So in essence, like if I got 6 months in Riverside, say, I would do 4.5 months, then San Bernardino would pick me up. Like basically cut, paste, repeat. So what should be a 6 month sentence would turn into 18 months in the county jail, and county jail sucks. So like I was getting tired, and it got to the point where I was more comfortable in jail than out of jail, and I was missing a lot of stuff going on in my children's lives. And finally I just said, you know what, I'm done. And luckily I was able to finally get it right. I had to go to rehab and stuff too. So it was very hard, Jeff. To be honest, like I had to change my whole lifestyle. I had to cut a lot of people out of my life that were still living that lifestyle. Because that saying, if you hang around the barbershop, you're gonna get a haircut, is very true. So a lot of people that I loved, I had to cut out of my life because they weren't ready to make the change themselves. Uh, for with meth, your heart starts racing, and you're like wide awake, and there's a euphoric feeling about it at first. And the first time I did it, it scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh my God, like, what have I done? Like, I thought I was going to die. And then 4 or 5 hours later, I start coming down and I needed more. Like, the addiction kicks in that quick. So, yeah, it's not good. Um, Man, I'm way behind on the comments. Looks like a bunch of stuff got timed out. Good job, moderators. I would love to quit the cigarettes, Peter, but been my Achilles. I've never been to prison. Certainly was on my way in and out of county, but sobriety is the ticket. Absolutely, Reefer Wizard. I completely agree. Uh, it's hard to explain, Peter. Like all of a sudden, it seems like all your problems go away because it's a rush of dopamine that goes into your brain, which affects the pleasure center. And but the problem is, drug of choice was meth, David. Yeah, no, absolutely, Peter. And the thing is, like, this channel's for it's for awareness, and the fact that, like I said, that it scared the hell out of me right away, but then I needed more. like it's dangerous, and a lot of these drugs are dangerous. So this plasma and blood cells flow by. Okay. You need to fax that live in your. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Gorgon. Uh, you are a soldier. I appreciate that. Would I smoke? I've smoked marijuana in the past. I never liked it. It wasn't for me. Um, I did isn't. Uh, Orang, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I appreciate that, King Cruz. Uh, oh yeah, no, absolutely, Gorgon. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying now. Yeah. Eric says, "You seem to be doing great, man. I'm happy to see you are doing better for yourself. And I've only known you 10 minutes. Keep up all the hard work. You've come so far." Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you tapped in with us tonight. Uh, is meth worth smoking? No, absolutely not. That was one of the worst mistakes I ever made was when I started smoking that stuff. Um, I'm not saying there's any using drugs is using drugs. You know what I mean? But like they cut that stuff with so much stuff. They're cutting it with fentanyl now and stuff, and like it's really bad. And the chances chances are pretty good that if you start using it, you may never get sober. Whether you die of an overdose or something, or uh, you lose your mind on it because that does happen. Psychosis does come with meth use sometimes, and it brings out the violent behavior in you. Uh, if you know your blood, you wouldn't do it. Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Yeah, Cricket Wireless, I would not suggest it at all. I would not suggest it at all. Uh, what I would suggest if you're thinking about trying it, go down to the area if in your town, if there's an area where the homeless folks congregate, go down there and take a look around. That's that's the end result of drugs a lot of times. And it's not a knock on homeless folks. Everybody's fighting their own battles and their own demons. Like not everybody down that's homeless. Some people just get down on their luck and they end up that way. But uh, a lot of people, you know, that's a result of drugs. So, is my phone lagging? You can still stop, man. I already stopped a long time ago, bro. My phone is lagging. Evening, easy now, friend. How you doing? Shout out to New Zealand. What makes a person lose their mind on it? Uh, Lack of sleep definitely plays a role. You tend to not eat. Like I would go days without eating on it because it's not something that like you just zone out. And the lack of sleep is a big one. Like you start seeing things maybe that aren't there, um, and you get real paranoid. You think everybody's out to get you because you are doing something that's illegal. So, like I can't tell you, like I dealt meth for a long time, pretty much the whole time I was using, and the thing is, I can't tell you how many people would tell me low level consumers, not even dealers, and they would think that the feds were watching them. And maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I don't know, but if you're spending $50 a week on meth, why would the feds be paying any attention to you at all? unless you're doing something else that would be worthy of federal authority attention, you know? What's up, Manaj? Hope you're doing well. Live is lagging. Is it lagging? I don't know anybody named Emmett Friend. What's up, Mustang Mike? Pick a number 1 to 36. Oh, are you? I'm sorry to hear that, Cricket. Uh, Mustang Mike says, I'm 24 years sober today. Congratulations on that, Mustang Mike. Shout out to you. What was your drug of choice and how did you get clean, bro? Share it in the comments. I'm sure it may help some people, you know? Shadow people, definitely. I knew people that talked about the wall people. Like, I never got it. It was never that bad. And I used a lot, like a killer's habit. I could go through a quarter ounce a day easily. Easily. But, you know, I was also selling half ounce to an ounce a day. So, like, the product was available, you know? Hardest part, Eric, was the lifestyle change, to be honest. Obviously, you have withdrawals and stuff, but you know, like I was a drug dealer. I thought I was the man. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, I was moving into just being a regular member of society, and that was a bit of a mind fuck, I guess you would say. You know? Yeah, definitely. Congrats to Mustang Mike. Reefer Wizard says fentanyl in the mix really has a lot of people dropping dead or getting ragged out here in the desert. Never thought there could be a worse shit. Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. Infomania says people were in the walls. Yeah. Like I almost went down and shot my car because I thought somebody was sitting in it. I was in an upstairs apartment looking down and there was a light. It was under a street light. And I'm looking at the seatbelt, thinking somebody's sitting in my car. And I go down there with a pistol ready to shoot the thing up. And I felt so stupid, you know, but yeah, that's what happens, you know. I went to 21 detoxes. And sometimes that, you know, the thing is I was on like my fourth program by the time I finally got it correct, you know. Appreciate you, Yosef. Uh, does that have a bad effect doing the methadone with the black, Rob? I've heard about that. I never did the black myself, so I don't really have a good understanding of that. Oh, that definitely messes with the business, Cricket Wireless. Um, you know, I would have definitely kept a lot more money in my pocket had I not started getting high on the supply, you know. But I mean, at first, it really didn't seem like it had much of an effect because I was moving plenty of weight and I wasn't using that much, you know. But then after a while, like I was hustling my ass off just to be able to re up, you know. And yeah, like it became a pain in the ass, you know. Yeah, and I was the same way, Mustang Mike. Like I was just, I'm doing well, Mohammed. I hope you're well also. What's up, hamster? That's good, Rob. I work. I don't smoke or drink alcohol. Didn't you used to do a show with a little devil? No, I didn't, Globus. May 27th, 2001 was the last drug or drink. That's awesome. My date was August the 9th of 2004, so we're pretty close there. Yeah, we're pretty close there in time. It gets easier with time, you know, because you develop tools that you can use in maintaining your sobriety, you know, like you learn as you go. And you know, the thing is, if you're trying to get clean and you have a relapse, then you got to make a mental note that, okay, this is what screwed me up this time. So I'm not going to do that again. You know what I mean? And like I said, the thing is, sometimes you got to cut people off in your life. If people aren't moving in the same direction you are, then they're just getting in the way or they're holding you back, you know? So, I mean, it's not easy, but you have to put yourself first in getting clean, you know? Question is, what subjects are off limits? I'm open to most stuff as long as it's respectful, Eric, as far as questions. To the anything you would like to share relating to the time you were using. I became a really bad person. Like I wasn't, it got to the point where all I cared about was making my money so I could go get another sack. And, I did the best I could to go see my kids and stuff. But, I didn't even want to be around them most of the time because I was horrible, you know? I became such a horrible person. And, Dub says, we talking drugs? We are. We're talking sobriety more specifically, but yeah. Appreciate you, Mustang Mike, and I'm happy for you as well, brother. Dub says, because I'm taking them. Well, you should stop, bro. Is there a significance to that date? That's today. That was today. All right, Yosef, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Have the same DNA as boys, so girls are actually boys. So. Okay. My day's been pretty good. NBA baller. Just came from my granddaughter's graduation ceremony. It was nice. Got another one coming in about a week, and then I got another one tomorrow morning. So it's good. The goal became in life to make sure that my kids and grandkids are in a better position than me and are smarter than me, ultimately, because, I made a lot of mistakes when I was young. I could be in a much better position right now had I not made a lot of the really bad decisions that I made. But very proud of my granddaughter, Cash. She did that thing. Samira's graduating tomorrow, and Lati's graduating next week. Very proud of all of them. Oh, and I want to wish a happy birthday to my daughter, Cora. She turned 31 today. Happy birthday, baby girl. I do believe in Jesus, NBA baller. A few days ago, I found a $20 in the pound. I thought it myself that would. Somebody rolls up with a bag of. Good wake up environment. I'm glad you held on. Moment of clarity. Yeah, man. And it happens too much, right, Mustang Mike? He says, my brother's girlfriend's son overdosed at 19. Beat something that can be a hard challenge for most people, and I hope you have a wonderful day, brother. Good day to you as well, NBA baller. Appreciate you. Live. Yeah, and Mustang Mike says, thanks, Eric. I'm glad I made it out alive. Lost a lot of friends along the way, definitely. Way too many funerals, I'll tell you. Beer called occasionally. That way I can tell people that I only drink occasionally. I mean, you are going to live again tomorrow? No, I'm not going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to be back at work tomorrow. Only reason I'm on live this evening is because I went to the graduation this earlier tonight, so I switched today with somebody else. Appreciate you subbing, Mustang Mike. What's up, Tim? He says, hey, Bobby, how you doing, brother? I'm doing well. Hope you're well also, Tim. Michael's got a Bible verse, 2 Timothy 4, 7 through 8. I'll have to check that out after we're done. That's definitely a very hard tragedy. A moderator, can you give Chemo some time to think about his flags? Please don't spam the chat. Like I said at the beginning, keep all the racial shit out, keep all the disrespectful shit out, and don't spam the chat. If you do those things, you are going to get a timeout, and if you come back and do it again, you're going to get blocked. I'm all for a troll occasionally, because if you listen for a little bit, maybe you might have a change of heart, Mustang Mike says, my cousin Bobby overdosed and was saved by Narcan. 2 hours later, he overdosed again and died. I was there for oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Mustang Mike. I think that Narcan is a really good thing, though. Even if I've heard commercials on the radio where you can get it for free and have it on you. And, even though I don't use or anything like that, it's intriguing that, I could get some and have it just in case something, yeah, I did catch up with the comments, didn't I, Ezekiel? So, yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a good thing to have. I mean, if you get pulled over, a cop might give you a side eye, like, hey, why do you need this? But, like, I don't use anymore. Like, last time I got pulled over, I'm like, if you want to check the car, go for it, bro. Like, I ain't tripping. He didn't even check the car because, he could look me in the eye and see that, I didn't have nothing to hide. It wasn't like that. So, anyways, yeah, if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. Check out my playlist. I have like 400 videos up on, if you like war stories, I got war stories from the street. I got county jail stories. I got prison stories. I got an occasion where we almost blew my garage up trying to make meth. I got the first 9 steps of the 12 steps of recovery as I see them. A little different than the program, you know what I mean? Shout out to Ecuador. Chat from top comment instead of all comments. It's annoying. Yeah, if you click down at the bottom left, you should be able to switch it over. Eric says, the verse is, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 8, henceforth there is 2 laid up for me, the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing. That's good stuff. My drug was methamphetamine, Mike. I sold weed, and what I would do is I would roll up a joint every time I'd pick up a pound, but I didn't touch that stuff. Like, besides that, like, I would roll up a joint just so I could, if I felt stupid for the next 2 hours, then I knew it was good. If I didn't get any kind of buzz or anything, then okay, I gotta see what's up. What's up, John Hip? What's up, Lision? I hope you're doing well. So yeah, like weed was never my thing though. Like it slowed me down, and I didn't like that. I wanted to go faster and faster. So I'm doing well, John. I hope you're well also. Yeah, you know what though? There were some pain pills and stuff that I did like, but I just never got deep enough in, ASDF says, how long have you been sober? I'm coming up on 21 years. August the 9th, it'll be 21 years. By the grace of God and a strong support system, Yeah, I know, John. So, appreciate that, ASDF. Yeah, came to the conclusion that there's plenty to live for. At one point, I didn't really think there was, but there's plenty to live for. And as tough as life can be at times, it's easier with a sober mentality. Yeah, and I agree, Mustang Mike. And I say that a lot. The thing is, if you're ready, then you can figure it out. You can, like with my videos in particular, I can tell you, I can give you the perfect game plan. There's never a perfect. So yeah, life is definitely easier sober. It said reconnecting for a moment there, so if there was a pause, my apologies on that. But yeah, I mean, there's I miss so much stuff in life due to my addiction. Like, I basically, it's as if I'm a 37-year-old man rather than a 52-year-old man, because 15 years were wasted on drugs and alcohol. All right, Mona, appreciate you. Thank you for the blessing. Uh, Cos Cos Cosinando. Appreciate that. Your friend had debits and they cut his leg off. What, diabetes? I think you're saying. Thank you, Hamster Warlord. My apologies. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, life was. It all seems like fun and games and a party when you're addicted, but I mean, life continues to go on, and you just get further and further behind. Um, I often wonder where I'd be at in life now had I not wasted those years. Calm of painkillers. Were there any significant action you would like to share? I once broke 9 ribs, punctured a lung, and got cut 1/4. Oh wow! As far as accidents, no, not really. Um, my full disclosure, my father was addicted to painkillers, and so like it, I was kind of turned off by that. But I would, back then it was like Volume and I'm trying to think of what the other one was. Narcos, I think they were. And what I would do with those is when I knew I needed to get some sleep, I'd pop a couple and it would relax me enough to sleep. No, as far as accidents, no significant accidents. Um, I've never broke a bone, surprisingly. Um, so I've been very fortunate in that aspect. No, you're not being a smartass. No, actually, I think it shows character, Ezekiel. As far as the gray goes, like I am who I am. Like I'm not trying to portray myself like I'm younger than I am. Like I've lived a hard life, and maybe it shows. You know what I mean? But I am who I am, and I'm one of those people where I feel like if you don't like me, that's okay. It's your problem, not mine. And if you don't like the way I look, that's okay. That's fine too. I have a wife that I'm very happily married to. So, uh, addicted, and I can't shake the fact that it's all by design. Breaking is, yeah, it seems that way, huh, Hamster Warlord? Yeah, I've been very lucky to be honest with you. Uh, get my methadone and have fun. The last detox I was in, my mom came to visit and was crying, telling me, "Please don't make me go to your funeral." And that's a big wake up, isn't it, Mustang Mike? Um, yeah, no doubt, bro. Uh, appreciate that. Gaming Manly Hawk says, "Dude, you're amazing. Don't let anyone bring you down." I appreciate that, and thank you. baby. Sexy Latina says, well, I think you're aging gracefully. I appreciate that. No, I didn't take it the wrong way, Ezekiel. I'm just kind of speaking on the type of person that I am, you know? Like, I didn't take no disrespect by that. So, yeah, if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button if you would greatly appreciate that. Mustang Mike says, I pray for all the people out there suffering. I do the same. You know, when I say my prayers at the end of the night, I always pray for the addict that's out there stuck in their addiction, you know? Uh, I appreciate you liking Gaming Manly Hawk. Um, you know, it's it's crazy, you know. I'm not from Australia. I'm from the U.S. No, I would never do that to you, Ezekiel. Yeah, and you seem that way, Gaming Manly Hawk. Yeah, same with me, Mustang. You know, like if I can do something to help somebody, I'm from California, Eric. I mean, I don't. LC says I'm from Australia. Shout out to Australia. What's up, John? Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, that's part of this 12-step program is helping others, you know? Like once you get yourself together and you're on the right path, help the next guy or girl to achieve what you have, you know? You have to give it away. Uh, no, I didn't do the COVID shot. Dispassionate observer. What's up, Ace? Yeah, Cali is gotten super expensive, you know? Uh, okay. So, yeah, California's gotten so expensive. I mean, the weather's great and all that stuff. Carlos Guzman says, I'm a drug addict with need of help. Have you tried going to an NA meeting, Carlos? Honestly, I think that's the best starting place is find a meeting, go check the meeting out, and just listen to people tell their stories, and find somebody that is similar, has has a similar story to yours, and ask them to be your sponsor if they have a little bit of time under their belt, you know, and then they can help you walk through those 12 steps of recovery, and and you can be on your way if you're ready, you know. I mean, the first step is admitting that you're powerless over your addiction and that your life has become unmanageable, you know. What was your drug of choice, Carlos? Okay, it's all good, Ezekiel. We're talking about sobriety and recovery. Pills, okay, so opiates, basically downers, and they're probably, are they trying to put you on like methadone or something, Carlos? To use, I'll hit a meeting and listen to someone speak, and yeah, and that's a great idea, Mustang Mike. Suboxone, yeah. I lived that way years ago. It was nice, but I dare not go back. Life is crazy out there. Yeah, it's very crazy. Okay. So, I mean, the thing with that, though, Carlos, is you may need a detox, and that may require some medications to get you through the initial come down, because withdrawals from opiates can be deadly. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe you might need a detox to get you through the initial stage, and then maybe go into a program or something, find a 30, 60, 90-day in-house program. That way you can at least get on your feet and start moving in the right direction, you know? Uh, and that's what I can't get through. The detox feelings, yeah. It can be really difficult. And if you're trying to do it without help, then um, that's where it can be deadly. You know, I've seen people kicking in jail, like off of black and stuff, and like it's such a horrible thing to watch, you know. But you know, no, I don't do drugs. Uh, I never, coke was never my thing, you know. But yeah, like I would seek some medical help early on, and then you got to come up with a plan, though, you know. What's up, Mazam? Uh, man, the chat's going crazy. Uh, they're all similar, same platform, Carlos. Uh, how are the shrooms, Great Wizard? Well, I appreciate the super chat, but yeah, I don't do that kind of stuff. This channel's about sobriety, brother. The guy. But thank you so much for the super chat from me and the fam. Okay. How do I get off of that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I've lost the chat. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second, people. I'm working on it. I want... All right. Leroy, if you're going to spam us with that talk, then I got to give you a timeout, Leroy. But all they do is put you on the same type of drugs, so you aren't getting help at all. And I understand what you're saying, Carlos, but I think you need to get to something that they can step you down off of. And if you do that through a medical professional, then they can help you to do that safely. A lot of people want to go cold turkey and try to kick on their own, but there's definite safety concerns when it comes to getting off of opiates. It's an opiate blocker. Okay. Drink my... Yeah, it's moving, isn't it? What's up, James? We're talking about sobriety tonight. Are you Putin? Really? Are you stupid? But still, freaking addiction. All right. Looks like we need to do some timeouts here. Go sit in the corner and think about what you said, John. Yeah, and that's really rough, Carlos. Trying to cold turkey, uh, I would say try to find a doctor or a program where you feel comfortable, where they communicate well with you and can explain to you what the process is, so that it doesn't just seem like they're putting you on prescription after prescription, And it's very difficult, Carlos. What's up, Muhammad? Sobriety is hard, mate. I'm sober, but it's hard to have fun these days. It'll come back around. Uh, Gaijin, hope I said that right. Ty Webb says you're not broken, just bent. Am I right? Slightly. Uh, you ever had a problem with drinking? I did for a while. When I initially got off the meth, I turned to alcohol, and it became a problem. I had to get off of that as well. Uh, uh, I OD on Friday night, just got out of the ER, and now on something called GAP for the restlessness of your arms. Okay. Carlos, if you have a primary doctor, I would get with them and talk to them and see if they can help you come up with a plan, and maybe they can explain to you some of the side effects of the medications that they're giving to you. We can learn to live again. Yes, we can, Ty. Absolutely. King Lee says, "What are you proud of as a man?" I'm proud of my family. Um, I'm proud that I get up and I go to work every day. I'm proud that I'm sober, that I don't need drugs and alcohol to live my life and have fun. Uh, those are just a few of the things. Is tramadol same or worse withdrawals like alcohol? Yeah, I tramadol was another one that I messed with a little bit when I would be coming down, but nothing too serious. Okay, now you're good, Ezekiel. So I think it's different with alcoholics. I've been drinking since 14, later messed with every other drug, but alcohol was always my warmth. Yeah, and alcohol has it's a downer. So when you get off of it, you get the shakes and stuff. It's similar in some ways to like the opiates. Uh, just like if you do the uppers when you get off, it has a really bad downing effect. Good morning, Maximede. And that's really well said, King Lee. He says, life is short, but every day is a day to become better. Absolutely. Learn something new today. Try something new today. Uh, you know, work on being a better version of yourself. Because before you know it, you're old and life is over, and it happens quick. So, Alex Block says, Mike, if it don't get you high, it gets you all right. The more you take, the better you feel, but it's a maintenance drug. You cannot kick it. I couldn't. I appreciate that, King Lee. Uh, drug talk, dude, you're not crazy. Stop it. No, I'm not crazy. Absolutely. I'm not. I was crazy before, though. Especially being a functional adult, having a family, but most important, being a father. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Hockey Brother says, I'm proud for President Trump. Thank you for the 199 super chat. I appreciate that. But we don't do politics on here. So thank you anyways, though. Happen if you relapse microdosing. Chief DeLorean, we're talking about sobriety and recovery tonight. And like Mustang Mike says, every day is a gift. Ezekiel is quick with it, isn't he? Shout out to the moderator, Ezekiel, and shout out to the other moderators, Q, Cora, Ramona, and whatever Jake is going by. What's up, HR Ramixone? Yeah, it is. There's a lot of things that are worse, though. Chief DeLorean says, you don't have to be perfect today, just be better than yesterday. That's some of the best advice you could have, honestly, because stop getting into the people will get clean and they expect their life to suddenly just become fucking amazing. And that's not how it works. But it does get better. And you then have the opportunity to make it amazing. But just because, you've been clean for a week or a month or 90 days or whatever it is, that doesn't mean all your problems go away. You still have stuff you need to work on. But like Chief DeLorean says, you don't have to be perfect today. You just got to be better than yesterday. And sometimes it's 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, whatever it is, Chief DeLorean says, I'm 9 months sober. Shout out to Chief DeLorean. That is awesome, man. Congrats on the sobriety. Keep doing the damn thing. Matt Sam says, sorry for my English. I'm French. No worries. Usain Ray, you make a comment like that, but you don't have a profile picture, so shut the fuck up. How about that? Huh? Put a profile picture up and then you can talk shit, okay, buddy? Yeah, the mods do a fantastic job. Carlos Guzman says, every day is a gift. It absolutely is. And what are we going to do with it, Yeah, see, Chief DeLorean says, I went to a great rehab. Same with me, bro. Volt 999 says, how old are you? I'm in my early 50s. It's always good to pass on knowledge. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Was that I've had my crack era, meth era, did coke for close to a decade and have never had a problem with anything because I always fall back on out. Yeah, no, I hear you. My channel is about addiction and recovery, Usain, and I tell stories about where my addiction took me, including the many county jails, state prison, and many near-death experiences, to be honest, So, yeah, that's what it is. Damn, 40 pills a day, bro. No, you're good, Usain. Don't worry about it. Chief DeLorean, I went to school to be a drug and alcohol counselor. My objective was to work on a SAP yard in the California prison system. And about the time I was finishing up my drug and alcohol program, they did prison reform in California and they killed the job that I was after. So I moved into trucking. But recovery has always been a topic that's near and dear to my heart because, I was there. I was down and out, like I was in the worst way. And I was able to dig myself out of that hole, and I just want to let other people know that they can do it as well. So I appreciate the question. Yeah, and I've heard that before as well, Alex Block. He says, Mike, remember, do not take Suboxone if you're not 24 hours clean. You'll get really sick. Seriously, I'm hooking left and right, and when the night is slow, I go for the bar hogs. My God. How do you come about to start using? Was it just presented to you? Was it something you sought out? Eric, what it was I grew up, I'm not blaming my environment by any means. I'm accountable for myself. But as a teenager growing up in San Bernardino, California, if you're not familiar, it's a very poor urban area. And what, my family didn't have much. And, I seen what people that were dealing drugs were driving nice cars and having the things that I wanted. So I pursued that route so that I could, my dad was a hustler and those genes were passed on to me. And unfortunately, I could have hustled in a positive way, but I chose not to. And so I started selling, and I did a video on it. It's called "How I Became Broken Bobby." You can go through my playlist if you subscribe and check it out. And I tell the whole story about how I used the first time and what that was like. So I appreciate that question, though. I'm lucky enough to have a supportive wife that didn't leave me and is supportive. Same here, Chief DeLorean. If I'm being 100% honest, when I went to prison, I wrote the wife a letter and told her to move on with her life because for like the previous 5 years, I was in jail a lot more than I was out. And I just didn't feel it was fair to her to keep hanging on for me when, it seemed like I was making really poor choices. And you know what I mean? Like I knew I was a fuck up. And she told me to do my time and come home and that she would be waiting for me, and that was a big part of the turning point in my life to get clean as well. So yeah, I definitely feel that, Chief DeLorean. Uh, and you know what, Carlos? He says, doctors suck. I had a back injury, and that's how I got hooked on pills. One thing I notice about doctors nowadays, I have pretty good benefits through the company I work with. And when I go to the doctor, because I'm a little overweight and I have some health issues, and the doctor don't want to tell you how to fix the health issues. They just want to write you a prescription because that's how they get paid. And I think it really sucks because, you know, everybody says that America has the greatest uh, medical care in the world, but why won't the doctor walk me through changing my diet so that I can lose weight and recommend, exercise and eating better? No, they want to, oh, here, have some Ozempic or something. You know what I mean? Here, have another pill. And like, it really pisses me off. To recover is turn to Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is definitely a big part of recovery, Usain. I agree. Uh, I don't even know what your name is, but me, asshole? You, asshole. Take that, take that. Uh, yeah, they get kickbacks on a lot of the prescriptions that they write. Yeah, I have a great one, Chief DeLorean, and it sounds like you do as well. Having support when we're getting into recovery is ultra important, because the thing is, we burn a lot of bridges along the way. And, the fact that some people are willing to stand by us is amazing. It's a gift from God. So, what if you don't believe in girls, huh? In God. Oh, okay, I see. You know what? Go back, Carlos, if you're subscribed, go back and click on I got my videos broken into sections. Click on recovery. And I talk about when I did, was it the second step? I forget right off the top of my head, but where we were willing to turn our life over to God. Like, my story was a little bit different. I'll tell you, when I was in prison, they would have like these prayer circles and stuff, and there was a dude in one of the prayer circles, and he was like leading the prayer circle, like, and he made parole, and he came and he gave me like all his Bibles and stuff, and I said, brother, I think you should take those with you. You're going to need them more on the street than you are in here, because there's a lot more temptation. And he told me he was about an 8 ball overweight, meaning that he was about to go get high, and that, like it was all a facade. He was hiding behind his Bible in prison. And, I remember my dad always told me, because he was a convict back in the day. And, he said, if you're going to go out and play these games in the streets, just know there's a consequence to pay and ride your beef, nobody's going to help you. So, I turned away from God at that point in my life. I said, you know what? I'm not going to hide behind a Bible. I'm going to stand on my own 10 toes, and I'm going to do this time. And when I get out, if God is something that happens to land in my life, then that'll be what it is, But yeah, I when I originally did my 12 steps, when I was working the steps, I did them as an atheist. And my go back and watch the videos if you would. Like I said, if you subscribe, look at the recovery playlist and watch. It's either, I think it's 1, 2, 3. Watch those, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, there's ways to do it, even if you don't want to make God your higher power. You can make other things your higher power as well. Okay, you're 23-year-old working in the state of Florida. That's cool. How's Florida? What's up, La Pipa? Different doctors, you can't do that now. Pharmacies are, yeah, they are, Mustang Mike. My dad used to do that. He would get prescriptions from a bunch of doctors, different pharmacies. I still remember that. Man, how far behind am I here? Let me see if I can catch up a little bit. Well, I appreciate that, sexy Latina. She says I was definitely worth the wait. Thank you, baby. America has given more money. Santinella? Are you in Santinella? Or you were in Santinella? Agnostic here, says Vic. Okay, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, We all find our sobriety in different ways, It's not just cookie cutter stuff. It's all open to interpretation, and what works for you. What works for me might not work for you the way it works for me, So yeah, it's different. It's different. Everybody's journey is definitely not going to be the same, But, it's just a matter of starting that journey and figuring out how your journey's going to look, So, and like I said, if you guys are new, be sure to subscribe. Check out my playlist. I have about 400 videos up right now. We're a smaller channel. We're at about 2,800 subs, and I thank you guys that have all subscribed and have stuck with me. We're trying to do our thing over here. So I get 8 to 10 bottles every. What's up, gaming? Oh. So this has been a good one tonight. Congratulations, Jamie. I was lucky enough to be raised to watch and learn from others' mistakes. This is Eric speaking. I've seen all of the negativity from an outsider perspective, and it's really helped reinforce my will. I was always talking to people like we have here. I always felt so bad for those people. I once saw a friend pick up and inject himself with a syringe he found on the ground. Sad days. No doubt about it, Eric. things are, uh, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Vic. What's up, Emerald Boy? Tramadol, yeah. Specifically tramadol. My name is Johnny Sins. I want to meet with. So do me a favor and hit that like button, guys, if you would. If you're new here, subscribe. Let's run those subscriptions up. I appreciate it. Uh, Vic says my compadre passed from an OD in 04. Found him 2 days later. Really sorry to hear that, bro. So quiet. No, you're good, bro. You're good, Ezekiel. What's up, David? Shout out to Dublin's. Yes, I'm smoking cigarettes. Hard thing to stop. Took 3 days, man, from withdrawal to stop. Can you help me how to super chat? I don't know how to do that, Delta Plays. Maybe someone else can tell you how to do that. I'm in Cali, Vic, yeah. Southern California, Inland Empire. Yeah, I hope everything works out for you as well, Carlos. Yeah, those drugs are bad, David. Andrew says bottom right hand with the $sign. Okay, cool. I appreciate that, Andrew. Imagine me, I've been on it for 10 years, taking 40 to 50 pills a day now. Yeah, that's for the super chat, says Andrew. Vic's in Rialto. I work in Rialto, Vic. That's good stuff. So you're local. Yeah, that's real good stuff. They really are, Mustang Mike. He says withdrawals are the absolute worst feeling in the world. I completely agree. I don't have that experience of withdrawals from opiates. You know what I mean? And that's okay, Cora. I just seen your message. Oh, so it sounds like Carlos is close too, huh? That's cool. That's good. I mean, ultimately, what this channel is about is helping each other, you know? Addiction is a tough thing, you know? Oh, wait. Uh, Looks like another timeout is appropriate there. Goodbye. I walked out my front door today and I saw a woman getting picked up, and as soon as I came outside, I got smacked in the face by the smell of weed. Damn, that's crazy. Is meth addicting? It's very addicting, Mustang Mike. Very addicting. I did it once and I was addicted. Like I said earlier, the first time I used it, it scared the hell out of me. My heart started beating probably 150 beats a minute. It felt like it was trying to jump out of my chest. Scared the holy shit out of me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to do this stuff again. And then I became fixated on, I don't know if you guys remember, but they used to have lowrider magazines. I don't know if they still have them or not, but I wanted a lowrider magazine. So I was going around town to all the liquor stores trying to find a lowrider magazine. I was fixated on it. Spent like the next 2 hours driving all over town to liquor store after liquor store. And when, uh, I finally got it and I got back to the house and I started coming down, and that feeling of never wanting to do it again, I needed more. Like it was instant, like it was crazy to me. What's up, Jesse Christensen? Hope you're doing well. Things are going well over here. How about you, Jesse? Steve says $100. I don't know what that means, but if you have an extra 100 you want to throw my way, the Cash App is in the description of all my videos. But I'm not asking for anything, so I'm just messing with you. Uh, Good luck. It is, but it can be overcome. Find a different medication if it's for, for nerve pain. Yeah, or Lyrica, they called it here in Australia. Okay. Withdrawals can be scary. The longer you use, the worse it gets, and it gets more than a mental battle. You have to change so much and commit to it. Yeah, I've seen so many guys kicking heroin in jail, and like they get the sweats and they get the shakes and they can't stay still and they're vomiting and stuff. And like it was terrifying just to see, to be honest with you. And some of these dudes that I seen kicking, like these were some gangster dudes, big muscled up guys, but they were addicts. And unfortunately, in most California jails, they don't give you a whole lot of assistance with detoxing. Uh, yeah, and for a lot of people, methadone does, David. Uh, yeah, they're terrible. Uh, Withdrawing it, yo, man, at West Valley, at Southwest Detention Center out there in Riverside, and even in Mid Central in LA County. Uh, there you go. Steve Ezekiel says Bobby's Cash App is money sign Broken Bobby 72. There you go. What's your avenue? Uppers, downers? Mine was uppers, if you're asking me, Vic. Two aspirin and a Benadryl, right, Mustang Mike? Oh my God. Horrible. Yeah, it was rough. All right, guys, I think we're probably going to wrap it up in the next 10 minutes or so. This has been a great live tonight, though. I appreciate everybody's participation and everything. If anybody has any last minute questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Uh, Vic says, uh, yeah, you been to Old County in LA? Oh, yeah. 58. I don't think I was in 5800. I was in 9500. I was in like 9350. I was on the 2900 floor. I was on the 3000 floor. I've been to uh, Wayside, to Medium North, and Supermax. Like I've been all over that system. Just like in San Bernardino, I've been to CDC, I've been to Glen Ellen, I've been to West Valley, and in Riverside, I was Robert Presley, Southwest, Banning. Like I pretty much made the rounds. New Zealand says, bless up from New Zealand. Blessings to you as well, New Zealand. Appreciate you. Ezekiel, go ahead, drop your question, brother. Some great people in this chat tonight, Mustang Mike. I agree. And, ultimately, what I love is like I don't really have the experience with the opiates, but people that do are offering advice to others. And, it's almost like an online NA meeting or something. You know what I mean? Not quite, but, you know, uh, we can talk freely and uh, help each other with trying to get better. So it's great meeting you as well, Vic. Los Padrinos. Yep. I remember that. Good people stuck with bad decisions. Yeah, absolutely. I've never been to New Zealand. Why is your wife not a moderator on your live? She's not really into it, Ezekiel. She's a very private person, you know? We're all searching for purpose and healing. Absolutely, Vic. Eric, it says, have a wonderful night. You continue to prove yourself every day how strong you are. I hope you continue to grow and thrive. It's been a wonderful time. It has been, and I appreciate you, Eric. Uh, Carlos definitely is a good man. I agree, Mike. Uh, we're in the U.S., and it was definitely nice meeting you, Carlos. I hope you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that when we do go live, usually I go live on the weekends. Maybe you can tap in on the next one and let us know how you're doing, Carlos. But I wish you the best, and I'll keep you in my prayers. What's up, Gabe? And absolutely, Mustang Mike, and I, like I said, I appreciate you as well. So I did. Thank you. Please do. I want out of this, and anything that we can do to help you, Carlos, we definitely will. It's a struggle, and it's going to be a struggle for a little bit, but uh, like someone said earlier, the objective is just to be better today than you were yesterday. And if it means being on something that's less addictive or harmful to you, then maybe a prescription the doctor can write will help you. So, but I hope to see you on the live next weekend as well. You're just as strong in me. Journey in life, stay clean. Same for you, Mongoose Rugger. Says, God bless you, brother. I hope you have a glorious night. Same to you, brother. One day at a time, says Vic. Uh, all right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up here in the next couple of minutes. Just remember, it's about the company that you keep. If you are hanging around a bunch of people that are addicts, chances are you're one as well. Alcoholics, it's all the same, pretty much, If you want to make a change in your life, change the company that you keep. It's a total life change. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting the same result. So, just make yourself a little bit better every day. All right, Carlos, God bless you, and I appreciate you stopping in. So, family, fitness, and freedom are the things that allow me to get my life together, and they can help you as well. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do me a favor and hit that like button. And don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you next weekend.